Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Greg with Fish at Middle Tennessee. I haven't done one of these yet, but I'm going to try it out. I got a customer that wanted glide bait, so I bought some of these off lurebuild.com. I'll put in the description down there the link to them and all that. I think it's a 5-inch, if I remember right. I think I'm going to do a gizzard shad pattern on it. I looked in his area and he's got, a bunch of different types of shad, like the gizzard shad. I think one was an American shad. Let's see, there was a couple other ones too, but I think as far as this goes, I'm going to try the gizzard shad pattern and see how it turns out. So let's get started. Okay, so what I did to get started is I taped up the back fin there, and then I actually put rubber bands inside of the hinged part in there to cover up the metal pieces so they don't get all stuck together. Coated the whole thing in opaque white, not a heavy coat, but just to get started. And then the colors I'm going to be throwing on it, some pearlized silver. I'm going to put a coat of that on there. And then let's see, I've got opaque black. I think what I'm going to try to do is try something a little different this time with this black. I like the scale pattern on this bait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this opaque black and reduce it down really thin, and take a brush and brush on some of that, and then a paper towel, and just kind of wipe it off, just to get that real scale pattern look on there, and see how that turns out. If I need, I've got some pearlized white and then a little bit of pearlized gold just to go through here a little bit and do some details, maybe on like the gill plates and a little bit throughout the bait there, a little bit on the back side there. And then let's see, detailed moss green, because these gizzard shad have a green tint to them, so we'll lightly do some of that on the top there. And then the detailed sepia to go over the top of that, probably the back side, a little bit of the shoulders, a little bit of the gills there, some of the fins. So like I said, this is the first time I'm doing one, so we'll try it as we go. If we screw it up, I'll keep it and I'll fish with it, and then we'll start over. I also have this little pattern that I cut out, little gizzard shad markings, just when I was doing some other ones, just playing with it. I think it turns out really well, so we'll put that on there somewhere, and do a light coat on that. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, let's hit the pearlized silver on it. I'm going to hit the back and then almost down to the belly. I'm going to leave the belly white. We'll come back and hit that with some pearl white. It's not a whole lot of difference between this pearl silver and pearl white unless you layer it on. So go ahead and get started on that. See, it's pearlized silver, but it's not really silver unless you dump a bunch of layers on it. It can get silver, you just have to keep doing coats. But I almost prefer it more for the pearl than the pearl white. It's got a better pearl look to it, so. There's that. All right, we'll heat set that, clean the gun out, and then move on to the next color there. All right, so I think now is where I want to try to do the black on the scales there. So I'm just going to take my opaque black, and I'm just going to do one drop because I don't need that much. My reducer, I'm literally going to water this down. So it's about 4 to 5 drops of that. I might actually 1 or 2 more in there. It's, you know, it's really watery, which is what I want, because I want to be able to wipe it back off after I put it on and just get that on the back side of the scales. A couple more drops. Get my paper towel ready there. Yeah, I'm just thinning it down until it's super watery. Like I said, this is the first time I'm trying this, so if I screw it up, I just dry it off and start over, or I just keep going and keep it for myself, for my own bait. So I'm gonna go against the scales here. Just like this. I'm gonna just lay it on there actually. And when I wipe it off, I will wipe it to the right. A little bit down there, just not doing anything crazy with it, but here goes nothing. Alright, so that's looking pretty terrible. It's not what I planned on doing. So I'm going to hit the other side just to make it match, and then we're going to spray over it with something. So that failed. But that's alright. You never learn unless you try something and then fail. Because fail is learning. So you fail, you learn, you try again. Alright, well that's a very dirty looking shad. Let's see if we can make it look better here. Because right now it looks like a giant turd. Alright, so I put opaque white back in here. And let's see if we can make this look a little better. Do a couple layers, put some pearl over the top of it. Gonna go down the belly. Leave the top a little dark, it'll be fine. We're gonna darken all that up anyway. Alright, now let's mix out a little bit, put the pearl back in there. Got some pearl silver back in here. set that. I think we're gonna do the next color. We'll do our, detailed sepia, and we'll put some pattern on it. Let me see what kind of stencils I got here. Okay, so I've got a couple different stencil patterns here. I got these from Shane Study off of Facebook. He's in some of the groups, the lure making groups on there. Real nice stencils, and pretty inexpensive for what you get too. He loads you up on some. So if you want to look him up, Shane Study, or Study, S-T-U-D-Y, I believe. So, all right, we're just gonna use this just to put some detail right across the top. And this is the detailed sepia is what I have in here. I'm not going to go heavy on it. Just a little bit across here. Some spots in it just like that. Yeah. Just like that, that's all we need. Flip it over and do the other side here. Nothing heavy. Coming down the shoulders just a little bit. A little bit more right here on this, a little darker. There we go. All right, now that we got that, I'm going to hit a little bit on the gill plate here on both sides. Right around the top of the eye. A little bit on the fin here. Do this one. Alright, we'll clean this gun out here, and then we'll move on to the next color we're going to do. So now I've got the pearlized gold in here, and then I've got this other dot stencil here from Shane. So I'm just going to randomly do some gold dots through here. Go. Maybe a couple right down here, right underneath the gill plate, just on the throat a little bit. Just for some extra detail down there. See that? Side. Couple more through there. Down here at the bottom. And that's that pearlized gold. You see that shining through there? Just like that. Alright. Let me get the heat set on that. The next color we're going to go to is the detail moss green. I've got the detail moss green loaded up in here, and I'm going to use this same stencil here and go over the parts that I did with the sepia lightly, just like that. It's right through there. Layer in some colors. There's that. Got all that in there, all that color. And now what I'm going to do with this green is I'm going to go down the back and the shoulders just a little bit, just to darken it up some. That green down there, and then I'm gonna move on to the opaque black and do the details. Okay, so now that I have the opaque black in, we're gonna go back with this stencil one more time and just lightly over the other ones. other side. There's that. Now again, I'm going to go down the back with the black. Just right down the back of it, not too much the shoulders. Just like that. Bring in my gizzard shad stencil I made here. We're gonna right there. Not too dark. Just like that. Flip her over. Make sure that's dry. Do this side. And there's that. Both sides there. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to go around the gill plate a little bit. Let me get a piece to block it a little because I want to darken up around the back side of that a little bit too. So I got this little clear piece of plastic that I literally just cut some edges in. You can see a little bit there. And I'm going to use this to cover up my gill plates and get a little bit of detail around them there. But I got my pressure pretty light. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Just let's see. Got it. Got it on about 18 right there, 18 to 20. So I don't want to spray it heavy. So I'm going to line that up and I'm going to do mostly on the stencil itself. Try to do this without blocking your view here. Just hitting the edge of it. Just like that. Hold it as still as possible. Just on the edge of it, just like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that gold back in and just go down the edge just lightly, just a little more flair to it. So I got the pearlized gold back in and I'm just going to lightly spray right along where the green meets the white. Like that. Get a little more flash. I think I may have sprayed too much on there, so maybe I'll go back with the green a little bit. That detailed moss green just to cover it up just a little. Alright, since I feel like we did a little too much gold on there, I'm going to go back a little bit with that detail moss green right over the top. There we go. Kind of washed out some of the pattern I put in there. To go back and do that a little bit. That sepia back in there. Maybe. There we go. Alright, now that I got that done, I am not going to touch it anymore. We'll get some eyes done, put the eyes in there, and then we will clear coat it. This bait is going to be killer looking. I'm pretty excited. After clear coat, all that's going to pop. It's going to look awesome. I hope he's excited about it. I'll show him the finished product as soon as I get it done. So let me get some eyes put on here. I decided to go with some gold eyes. I wish I had some better eyes, like a glass eye, something that's got a little more detail to it. But I do not, so it's getting gold eyes. Maybe one day I'll make my own eyes. Look, there's the eyeball. Hello, fishy, fishy. Those look good on there. I think they will do just fine. Alright, let me get this thing brushed with some clear coat, and then I'll get you all a finished product picture. Usually I use my finished product picture for the thumbnail, like the headline of the video, so y'all see that before you even see me paint it. So hope y'all liked the video. Thanks again. Thanks for watching me do my first glide bait here. I think it turned out pretty well. I think I learned a few things. I screwed a few things up. And hopefully I helped some people figure some stuff out. So, if you want to try glide baits, there you go. It's pretty fun. Thanks for watching.